Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about sports. Week 5 almost in the books. Nice. 2 more games. Well, we're in the middle of one and one tomorrow. Let's start out with Colts Broncos from Thursday night, boys. What a game!
What a game! This is the best game all year, I think, is what most people were saying, right? I heard that right.
I mean, I think that Amazon got some subscribers based on that game.
For sure. They did not lose any off of that. Dude. How much did they pay for that game? Like 78 million or something?
78 million, I think was the breakdown on that one. Totally worth every fucking penny they spent.
Again, I mean, greatest game.
It was funny to see like 2 billionaires getting hosed at the same time.
I do have one serious question.
And the Walmart
and Amazon, right? Just the two.
Gotta love it.
Most, yeah.
So, in all seriousness, do you guys think that, like, people who bought a Russell Wilson Broncos jersey, like, do you think that their first Google search was the return policy of the store that they bought that jersey from? Like, and then like they spent the next like 20 minutes like, dude, did I fit in this fucking criteria? Can I return this motherfucker? I've had it for damn it, why did I have to get it as soon as we landed him?
You remember me at the beginning of the season, I said 2 of the teams in our division are gonna feel very different than what they think they are.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And it's the exact 2 teams we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. There's not a huge shock.
Yeah, and there's
the Chargers, really, the Chargers really haven't really.
But they've had with a lot of injuries.
The Chargers have a ton of injuries.
Yeah,
that's true.
They're just decimated,
and they're still able to pull some of these out.
Yeah,
and they don't look pathetic.
I mean, and to be fair, the Broncos and Raiders have got some tough injuries too. That Raiders offensive line is garbage and has gotten worse. The Broncos offensive line, I'm pretty sure their left tackle's gone now.
Yeah, I mean that now they're down starting running back one. They're one of their top wide receivers in Tim Patrick missing the season. Judy's missed a couple games.
And it's pretty clear that nobody is happy with Russell Wilson, including his teammates.
Yeah. I mean, there's also reports of Russ playing through an injury that he suffered towards the end of the Raiders game.
Yeah, which la-di-da.
Give Baker a huge pass for similar injury. So
yeah, Baker got murdered and kicked out of town for.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it with Cam Newton get kicked out of town, so due to similar injury. So yeah, it's hard to.
I like the memes so far too that people are putting up of Drew Lock saying, you know, we had the same exact quarterback for way less money. And it's all Broncos fans.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and I think if I'm a Raiders fan, I'm not as sad as if I'm a Broncos fan. Like Broncos fans really thought that they were like they're going like 13-4 or some shit.
This year. Dude, they were before the season. They were like sharing that meme where it was, John Elway ended his career as a Bronco with a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning ended his career with a Super Bowl as a Bronco.
Oh yeah.
Russell Wilson's next, and I'm like,
no, he's not.
No. And if Russell Wilson's got a rotator cuff, he's going to have to sit to heal that, or they're just going to play through it and suck all year.
Yeah, because they're calling it a torn labrum.
Yeah, and they said it's gonna linger for weeks.
Yeah.
So,
and you would figure
they did say no surgery though. So
okay.
Yeah.
What I mean, whatever.
It's probably going to be a pain management.
So this game, how many punts were there? It was like, I can't remember.
Are we talking are we just counting punts, or like are we talking those fucking interceptions he threw too?
Just punts.
Jesus Christ.
I can't remember the number. It was a lot.
I mean,
No
The
touchdowns. Should have been a touchdown at the end of the during overtime.
Wide open.
yeah, and you know what? Rotator cuff, fine. That had nothing to do with that final play.
No way at all.
Rotator cuff
He
has
just
nothing to do with
didn't
that.
see that guy.
He's
Yeah.
staring. He was staring down fucking Sutton the whole time. The whole
Mhm.
time, staring him down because he wanted to get the best of who was the corner?
Gilmore.
Gilmore came over from the Patriots, yeah. Because Gilmore's been fucking him up all night, and so he wants to get one on Gilmore.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hamler just, oh my god, like
Why?
to show you how bad it is. I spotted Hamler in lifetime. I spotted that dude. I was like, oh, there's the touchdown, and the throw never came.
Yep.
Like if I'm spotting your open guys quick enough to get a touchdown, like come on.
Yeah. And it
So,
was
that
12
has nothing
punts.
to do with an injury.
12 punts. Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, that's enough of that game.
Yeah, let's move
My
on
bad, guys.
to.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good,
Right.
Sam.
My
You didn't
bad
miss
as well.
much.
You missed the best part.
I know.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about that game, but it's all right. Next one. Russ
think-
looked terrible. He threw it. Stephen Gilmore won the game.
Yeah, that's exactly
Obviously-
what we talked about. So
Obviously, Russ is.
let's ride. So next game on our docket, we've got Peas Eagles beating the Cards 20-17.
Still the only undefeated team.
Only undefeated team, and we got a nice matchup next week. You know, like Eagles, Cowboys, good. But this
Eh.
week, happy with what I saw.
Two defenses gonna go to town on each other, I think.
Yeah, that Cowboys defense is disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping Jordan is back at left tackle next week. Hopefully Kelsey's okay because he did get banged up during this game. He came back.
Somebody was injured on the Cowboys defense today too, but he kept Parsons, yeah.
Yeah.
The big one that came
But he
out.
kept staying. He kept staying in the game. He kept waving off,
Yeah.
coming
yeah,
out. So
Yeah, this one, I mean, it was a little scary game, but I like the resolve of this Eagles team.
mhm.
Because they were up 14, then they let the Cardinals get back into it and
But the
tied at
defense,
17,
man.
and then
Defense held when they really
Well,
needed to.
Well,
No game on the road is a gimme either.
no.
no, yeah,
But it also helped too that oh god, now I'm brain farting. Cards quarterback Kyler Murray. Why can I not think of his name? He on that third down, if he would have slid a little later, they even said it on the broadcast.
Yeah, that was a bad
crazy.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he spiked the ball to bring up fourth down, and then Amendola missed the kick.
yeah.
See,
Which
Kyler-
and they
you tell
kept
Kyler's
showing.
not watching film. He doesn't know who his kicker is.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, Jalen Hurts, was 26 of 36 today, 239, no touchdown passes, no picks.
Rushing TDs though.
He had 2 rushing TDs, and I mean, I
Yes,
think Dallas
yeah,
Goedert
yeah.
should get partial credit for the first one because he literally was carrying Jalen into the end zone
Yeah.
on that one. I was like, as a fantasy owner of both of these guys, I want the points shared. I want each of them to get credit for the touchdown because they both broke the plane with the ball.
Anyway.
yeah.
Moving on.
Miles Sanders had another. He had 58 yards, but he had some good looking runs.
Yeah, I could use a little more. But yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think the story there kind of continues to be like it's kind of it. Like, have we seen the best of Kyler Murray?
I
Is,
mean,
is it
it's
going to
hard-
change when he gets Hopkins back?
Has he hit his ceiling? Is what you're saying? Yeah. He probably has. And I think Kyler Murray's ceiling is good if you have the right coaching and the right team around him.
this team definitely gets
yeah.
more intriguing with DeAndre Hopkins there. So
It will, for sure. Yeah, put some more time.
if they don't make big leaps, because this is a decent receiving core they have in place. Brown had a solid day.
Their coaching just bothers me. Like, I don't think they're come on, man. Until they get a little bit better coach, I just don't think they're gonna be for real.
No, yeah.
And
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
I
Kyler,
just they
again,
have
I'm-
nice pieces that you're like you should be able to win with be a good team with these pieces. So
You think they
should.
stick with Kingsbury all season?
I don't see him getting released before Matt Rule or Nathaniel Hackett. So it just really depends on the timelines.
It'd be pretty late before they let him go. But I see after the season. They
Yeah.
Well, Schefter came in earlier, and he's got information that Matt Rule's going to be fired tomorrow.
I expect that.
How could you not?
Yeah,
If anytime he gets fired, you're like, yeah, it's not soon enough.
Is that all we had about the Eagles?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eagles are still good. Eagles
still
are
undefeated.
prove they
We
could win a
got
tough game.
Oh, he was down.
I
the
mean, they
NFC
did go.
East looks legit after today.
Yeah, we'll
Three-
talk about that. Goes into our next game, right? With
Three
the Pack.
impressive wins
Mm-hmm.
from that division, and it sets up a huge matchup for next week.
Next Monday.
Eagles Cowboys.
Or Sunday night.
Massive.
Sunday night.
Okay, let's go Eagles.
When's the last time Eagles Cowboys mattered so much, man?
It matters. They always find a way to have it matter. They always have a way to have it.
Sure.
So next game on the docket, we had our early morning game over there across the pond. Giants beating the Packers 27-22.
Was that on NFL Network?
Yeah,
That was on NFL
That's
Network,
why I
yes.
couldn't find it. Okay.
Yeah. Man, who knew? Like, it seemed like the Packers were in control of that game. At halftime, they go to at least kick a field goal, set themselves up to be up by 10 at half. Their defense had looked pretty decent to that point. So had their offense. And then they come out and they stop running the ball, which is weird to do in the second half with the lead. And they start kind of trying to bomb balls downfield to guys that aren't open and are pretty, blanketed. It looked a little bit like the NFC Championship game of last year, where Rodgers was just trying to like hit Adams deep, no matter how covered he was. So that it's a little worrisome there for sure.
Yeah.
But then on like the last drive where they were moving it down, like finally that last drive that they ended up fucking up anyways on fourth down. But they started running it a little more and they were moving again. Like the runs were working.
Last 3 weeks, they get like last week they got a lead and then they just fucking pissed around and
yeah, like what are we doing?
Yeah,
is it the same? When you see Nathaniel Hackett down in Denver, it's like he's acting like he has Aaron Rodgers still, right? He's acting like Russell Wilson's Aaron Rodgers and he's not. No. And even when you act like Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, sometimes you get yourself into trouble because you're just like I know he's really accurate and he can sometimes hit in between double coverage, but 30, 40 yards downfield, like you don't have Devontae anymore.
Yeah.
Dobbs he doesn't look like he's going to go jump up and get it. At least not yet.
Yeah.
Lazard's look good, I think.
Lazard's look fine.
He's had some big time.
There was a Dobbs throw that he kind of missed that he went deep down when he was double covered. That's what I was referring to in this.
No,
game.
yeah. Not. I was just like, I like what Lazard's brought to the table for him.
Burrow just scored and the Bengals went up.
Oh,
or at least tied it. They haven't kicked the extra point. But yeah, it was. And then the Packers defense just kind of fell apart too. Right? They couldn't stop Daniel. I mean, credit to the Giants, credit to Saquon, credit to Daniel Jones.
It's really come in and made a difference.
This is a game where if you look at Daniel Jones and Aaron Rodgers' stats from this game, they're pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was 21 of 27 for 217. Right. Rodgers 25 of 39 for 220.
But 222, what? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
No touchdowns for Daniel Jones, but he had 37 rushing yards on top of that.
Did he have some rushing TDs? I thought he had some touchdowns.
He had no touchdowns for Daniel Jones today.
Okay. This is why when people say that wins aren't a quarterback stat, they're fucking dead wrong. Because if you watch this game, there was one quarterback who made the plays to win the game and one quarterback that didn't today. And you wouldn't expect it to be Daniel Jones over Aaron Rodgers, but that's what it was. No, and that's why when you talk about quarterback wins and losses, it's not everything, but it is something. And you do have to incorporate it in the conversation. And people who say it's not, shouldn't be a quarterback stat, you're wrong, man. They got the ball in their hand every time. And we saw it today. Like Daniel Jones made those plays. Aaron Rodgers did not.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers also has no one to throw to.
Yeah, but they were just dumb play. There wasn't. It's not that he was
I know.
The play
But
calling was bad.
oh, it was.
Like because when they
I also don't. I don't buy that narrative at all that he has no one to throw to. I think it's more Aaron Rodgers just didn't
when they're
in the
working to the
know
strengths,
all these new guys that came to his team.
and I think they can still get some of that stuff figured out. Like that Aaron Rodgers can still develop. There's still a lot of time left. I think they will. There was also some stuff going on in the locker room too. Of Aaron Rodgers said he didn't like the talk that he was hearing from their defense, their defensive players saying, that they're not worried yet or anything, right? Oh, we're not stressing, we're fine. Which I thought was what Aaron Rodgers used to say about, relax.
Oh yeah. So it's okay for Aaron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Aaron can say relax when the offense ain't looking too shabby, but the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be mad too if the other side of the ball was outperforming me every week.
I mean, this week the defense did not neither side.
Not
Really.
this week. Not
Did
this
you
week.
see that?
You barely
He
made that.
barely
kick.
made that extra point. It went over the bar.
It went over the top at half the ball. Half the ball. Was
McPherson. Oh, money McPherson there.
All right.
But he made it. He
Next
did it.
game.
Let's move on to the next game. That's enough Aaron Rodgers talk.
That is.
Chargers beat the Browns 30-28. So a very close game we had there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a missed field goal, but at the very end of that game, the Chargers tried so hard.
Dude, it was like seeing which team wanted to lose it more. Are the Chargers going to charger it? The Browns browning it is a little stronger than the Chargers.
Yeah.
Charger.
Yeah.
A little more energy
coaches
into that.
makes me so irrationally mad, like watching him call a fucking game, because it's just like, dude, like if the analytics are telling you to do this shit, they're wrong. They aren't the right call at all these times.
So
like, dude, like how many games do you have to almost lose before you get it through your fucking head to just do the right thing and kick or fucking punt the ball?
Don't go for it on fourth. You have the lead. You're trying to run out the clock and you're going for it on fourth down in the middle of the field.
In the middle of the field, you're in your fucking territory.
You're in your own. I know you're in your territory. You're not even to the other side yet. Get the fuck.
The Browns didn't even really gain any yards when they had the ball and they were in fucking field goal range.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't it? They picked up like 3 yards and boom, they had a 54-yard attempt.
And they had the Browns had like what? No timeouts, right?
None.
Like no timeouts. They had like 20
seconds.
seconds. Like, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
Just the Chargers don't be proud of that win because the Browns fucked up. Jacoby, like, I can't believe that the worst interception didn't come Thursday night because it probably came with Jacoby Brissett's interception with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter there when he just fucking threw it right to their guy in the end zone.
I mean,
like,
can we give Carson Wentz an honorable mention for his game-losing interception at the goal line?
Okay, at least Carson's was like the last play of the game-ish type, right? Where you basically he had to throw it, do something right there to win it.
It was first down.
Yeah, but time was running out.
Yeah,
so.
they were down.
I don't know if they may have had a time for another play, but it was really iffy, right? So you kind of had to throw it up. I mean, I get it. Carson runs through an intercept. Carson Wentz. But no, I think Jacoby's was worse because Jacoby, if you throw that thing away, just throw it away, or he even had room to run. Either one of those, you can win that game because you're kicking the field goal to go up right there, right? You still, that's third down, it's not fourth. You're kicking the field goal up. But no, the last thing you can do, the last fucking thing you can do is throw it to the other team in the goddamn end zone. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
And the Browns browned it.
Hey,
We're hoping to see a little more for Jacoby.
I like that Holby and Doug for fucking Deshaun though. So
Yeah, don't even give that dude a chance.
I mean, you can play from week 12 on. I mean, your team's been eliminated from postseason contention, so you can still fucking play.
I don't know, man. We got
that division's not running away with it.
Nobody's.
so.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody in that division has really decided to take it over
nobody-
yet.
Yeah, we can be done with that one. We can move on. How about the Seahawks losing to the Saints 39-32?
Hey, man.
The Seahawks are a fucking scoring machine. Like fantasy football advice 101. Pick up some Seahawks offensive players.
Right? Who thought?
Put those motherfuckers in your lineup, and you're probably gonna have a happy Sunday.
This is what we're really learning is, Gino, like he looks exactly like Russ did in that offense, right?
This is really the best coaching Gino's ever had in his career. So I mean, it's
And I
it's a
think
good
we're seeing,
opportunity for him. He's got good weapons around him.
well, with the divorce of Russ and Carroll, we're seeing that Carroll was the one who was probably driving that shit more.
Kind
It
of
was
the opposite.
and always dubbed because yeah, I know Russ never had success, like went to a Super Bowl without having the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
And not just the best defense in the league, an all-time defense. Like one of the best.
The Legion of Boom is fucking iconic.
Right.
So
So we're seeing surprise, surprise, it was your coach and not your quarterback that never even sniffed an MVP.
And
Like-
to that I say no shit. If the coach isn't good, that will show through.
same
Yeah.
And
That
it
team-
has.
That you don't go to 2 Super Bowls with a bad coach.
Yeah.
And
No.
a coach doesn't stay there for God knows how long. What's Pete Carroll been there? Fucking
Over
over
10 years now, yeah.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah,
don't-
I mean,
you
because
don't
he got
stay there
hired
not good at your job.
before Andy Reid got hired here. So
Yeah.
He was there in what, 2010 or 11? I think
he
got
was
hired?
there for the
Something
Beach
like that.
Quake.
Yeah. Because that was him. That was him that first year. Was that when they were like 7-9 and somehow made
they
the
were-
playoffs,
Yeah.
but then beat the
Right.
Saints the year after the
Lamar
Saints won it,
Cole.
which was 09. So it would have been 010. I want to bet. We're not even talking about that game. What was
Oh,
Get us
well,
back on track,
The
Tim.
Seahawks. We're on Seahawks.
Okay, but hey, we
Rashad
talked
Penny,
about
I mean,
Seahawks.
going down for the year.
yeah, Rashad
probably.
Penn. That's so sad.
That's
It is sad,
Yeah.
man. I mean, that's a guy he's having
That's-
a breakout, up to this point, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
we've all been kind of waiting to see that, but he's been dealing with the injuries. He's been buried on the depth chart behind Chris Carson previously, who had to retire.
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like that was like all of that production was more like because of the system,
It's
Like,
a
not
great
to-
system, yeah.
not to slight Penny.
Man, I mean, they've always had a good run system down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Walker slid in
We do
and got 8 carries for 88 yards.
And
so-
we haven't mentioned the best player of that game, though, or even the winning team, the Saints, who, my God, Taysom Hill. Jesus Christ.
fucking Hill.
3 rushing TDs and
And
a
a
passing TD?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, you're a tight end, dude.
So that's 2
Yeah.
massive
Tight
games
end.
this year.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know. It was great, though. It was great. Kudos to the Saints for finding ways to win and churn up some offense when I didn't think they'd be able to do much of it this year.
Honey
Dude,
Badger
yeah,
just letting a dude run right past him into the end zone.
Do we have a quarterback controversy in New Orleans getting ready to brew?
Did they try that before?
Maybe.
with Taysom? I mean, Taysom works best when you don't.
No,
you know,
no. Andy Dalton.
No. Andy
Oh,
Dalton.
Andy Dalton. I forgot. Oh
Andy
my
Dalton
God.
and Jameis Winston.
I forgot Andy Dalton was the starter of that game.
Yeah. I mean,
Did they won last week too, didn't
no,
they?
they missed the field goal at the end.
Oh, that's right. So I mean Andy
I don't
Dalton-
know if Andy. I don't
solid.
know if Andy Dalton is the starter or not. Maybe. I mean, Jameis isn't that great either. I guess if whoever's got the hot hand, right? Switch them out if you want, and then you can just plug in Taysom when you need to.
Yeah, I mean it was a not very inspiring 16 of 24, 187 and a TD and a pick.
The
I mean,
the
but
Saints
it's
and the
not the 4
Seahawks.
picks that Jameis has been throwing up.
The Saints and the Seahawks go into that bucket of teams that could beat any team or lose to any team on any given week, right?
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're
those
gonna
weird
fuck up
teams.
somebody's playoff hopes.
Right. They're gonna play spoiler to somebody. They probably won't do much if they get to the playoffs. Maybe they back into it in that 7 spot, but yeah, probably not.
No.
Anyways, let's go. To the next
Yeah,
game.
let's go. How about the Bucks beating the Falcons 21-15?
Ref
Fucking
ball.
garbage.
Ref
Yeah.
ball. Ref ball.
I mean,
Didn't even
I
watch
mean, the
that
Bucks
game.
were still up at that point. The Falcons still would have had to get in the end zone, but Jesus Christ.
They would have, but they were making the comeback. Like, and I know like Falcons don't get down like 21-0, and you won't put yourself in the spot maybe. But they were coming back, right? Like they were gonna stop them and have enough time. Like that was 3 minutes left, and then the refs on 2 series in a row threw a flag on 3rd down to extend the drive for the Bucks. And
Yeah.
on a ticky-tack holding call that didn't really look like holding to me.
Yeah.
There was proper contact within 5 yards, and then the guy separated, right? Didn't see much holding to me. And then, of course, they touched Tom Brady, so they threw a flag.
Like any ref that was around in the 2010s needs to be out of the league now. Like anybody who like still like has reverence for Tom Brady, like get him the fuck out of here because they're handing this dude games over and over and over on a silver
Sad
platter.
to see. And I mean, it's not just Tom, I mean, it happened to us with fucking Matt Ryan. And maybe once
Here he comes.
Tom retires, Tom, Pat gets all those calls. Oh, look at that. What do you know?
Yeah. Game over.
Okay.
Good to hear.
Automatic.
Sneaky and
I
I.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, your pick, man. It was
There we
good. Hey, man.
go. 5.
It's toss up.
Spoiler. Sorry.
All right. What game were we on? You guys have to give me back, man.
Bucks game.
Bucks game, right? Yeah.
That I
Yeah,
don't.
that-
I think.
There was absolutely nothing on that sack to make it look like roughing. There was nothing.
There was no reason to call it.
It was a slow pull down to the
Like,
ground.
When Tom Brady is surprised that the flag was thrown, something's wrong. Like
Yeah.
something when Tom Brady is like, oh shit, really? Like, because that's
You're
come
like,
on, man.
thanks.
So yeah, it was, and that's all you can really say about that game. Like
Yeah.
the Falcons tried, but the Falcons are the fact. I mean, and the refs don't need it. The Falcons would have given that game away. Even
Yeah.
if they would have falconed it. The refs don't need to protect Tom that bad. I just think it's the refs were like, hey guys, me and Tom, this is my best friend for the past 20 years, and he's going through some hard times at home.
Yeah.
And if Giselle leaves him on the same week that he loses to the Falcons, you have to put him on suicide watch. We can't have that.
Especially
So
if they blow a 21-0 lead.
to the Falcons, yeah. So the refs knew that they had to protect their boy, and they did it. Good job, refs.
Anyway.
Yeah. So let's
Thanks
move
for
on
letting
to the
me know.
next one. We had Cowboys and the Rams. Cowboys winning that game 22-10. Rams
That one
looked
felt
awful.
over really quick.
Pretty
As
early,
soon as
right?
Stafford
It
fumbled
did.
for a touchdown, I felt like that game was over.
Yeah, at
God.
no point did the Rams look good or like they
No.
were going to compete in that game. Just
Yeah.
No.
I thought they might have something when Cup made that huge play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they-
that was awesome.
but
Oh yeah.
That dude's so fucking fast.
they're so good. Like, yeah, no matter how bad the Rams do this year, Cup is still gonna be Cooper Cup. Like,
Yeah. Like I thought they might mount something off of that, but that Cowboys defense is just stifling, man.
Yeah.
Stifling.
especially a Rams offense that has not figured it out yet.
No, I mean it's.
So,
I feel like stopping the Rams offense really comes down to, can you shut down Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, really, because
Yeah,
that's
or
all he
just-
targets.
Yeah, they
Or
need
just
to
play-
they need to back up a truck to OBJ's house.
right now.
Yeah, they need some reinforce. They need to call the Titans and be like, can we get Robert Woods back?
Something.
They desperately need OBJ for sure because it is ugly, and they need to just see whatever they can do to get Whitworth out of retirement. Like,
Yeah, I'm honestly fine with it. I don't like the Rams.
Neither do I.
I get okay. You know what it seems like with that team, right? Like we talk about Super Bowl hangovers, but this seems a little bit more than that, just because you had your coach who was talking about retirement in the offseason, as well as Aaron Donald, right? So your best player and your coach, who both seemed like they proved what they needed to prove, right? McVay was like, look, I got my ring. I told you I could be the best. Aaron Donald has proven he's the best defensive player for a while and finally got his ring. Stafford overcame his demons and proved all of his haters wrong, right? So it seemed like they did what they needed to do. And now they're kind of like already looking to the next phase of their career.
They exhaled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely have. And maybe they'll put it together. Maybe they'll realize, oh, look, guys, we need to get our shit together. And there's still a long time in the season, but
Yeah.
That's a really fair point. Like I knew about all those individual stories, but I never really put it together that you had a lot, like all of your main pieces of that team are either gone
Besides-
or thinking about
besides
leaving.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, besides Cup.
Cup's the only one who is, like, no, this is my prime, guys. I'm ready to keep going.
Yeah.
He's the only one. And everybody else was like, no, we did what we needed to do.
Yeah, Stafford's like, my elbow's not gonna fucking hold up. The coach is like, I don't know. Aaron Donald's like, I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that'll
It seems like they're all at least thinking about the next part of their life.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
NFC East went 3-1 today, and it's not surprising the one team that didn't.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And it's not like they were playing terrible opponents.
Yeah.
They weren't playing bad teams.
No.
So,
I don't know. It's
all right. But what's up next?
Next, we have Bears losing to the Vikings 22-29, which
Oh.
the Bears almost came back and won that
Bears
game.
I talk really bad about Justin Fields a few times, but
Yeah.
I'll say he looked pretty decent today.
It didn't look terrible when they were trying to.
I mean, this game was
With
not
that little
fussing
run.
on him. I mean, that last play was incredible by Dantzler for the Vikings, where he stripped that ball right out.
Yeah.
That was the. I mean, dude, that was great. That was
and
the play of the game.
Fields-
Obviously, Bears were trying to come back, and he just was like,
Fields seemed to be in a little bit of a stride there, and I was like, okay, I can see it. He was using his legs. His instincts looked good in that game at times. So
mm-hmm.
if
But
they
hey,
can
credit
their coach
credit
should
to the.
balls.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But I was saying credit to the Vikings, who we usually see like lose a lot of close games. In the last 2 weeks, have found ways to win it.
Yeah.
You know, even when it seems like
Justin-
the other team is on a roll.
Justin Jefferson was fucking bonkers today.
As always.
Yeah. But
Yeah, he looked really good,
yeah.
obviously. Dalvin Cook looked really good too.
Dalvin did look good. Kirk Cousins, they left some points.
Looked
on
like
the
Kirk
board.
Cousins.
Like they left some points on the board.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but he's good. The Vikings are another team, can win or lose to anybody on any week.
yeah, that's
You know.
well,
But
Not a
hey,
lot.
they're in control of their division.
right, they are.
They're firmly
that's
in
true.
control of that division right now.
Yep.
So, hey, kudos to them.
Yeah, let's go to Niners beating the Panthers pretty handedly for 37-15.
Is there anything to talk about?
Not super.
Not a lot.
That game was
honestly.
fucking terrible.
It
Not
was.
really.
Every
Baker
time-
Baker Mayfield's in a walking boot.
Yeah, I saw he was limping around on that field.
Do we think they look a whole lot different without Baker Mayfield?
No.
I
No.
think they'll look a whole
Baker's
lot-
looked bad.
They might look different when they fire their coach tomorrow.
Baker. The
Like
thing
so
I'll say
better.
about Baker is no matter how bad a game seems, that dude's out there giving it his all.
He
He's
gives it
fucking-
his all, but
He-
I
he
mean,
tries
giving
real
it
hard.
your all doesn't win.
Baker Mayfield loves football. for
He had
sure.
a really nice deep ball that he threw that Mortis couldn't come down with.
Yeah.
There was good coverage on the play, but I mean Baker put that ball on his receiver.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It wasn't. He hasn't looked great, but I think that he's still going to be better than what Sam Darnold is going to be.
The natural shit talker in me will always root for Baker to succeed, but I've got to get off that train. Like it's just
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
I
get
just
it.
try not to even talk about him anymore, just
I
because I've always
I've
talked a lot of
said
shit.
it's
on
hard
him.
for me to evaluate him with the Panthers with Matt Rule because I think that dude's
Yeah.
absolutely terrible coach. And
All right, boys, let's move on. We had Steelers almost getting shut out by the Bills 38-3.
So the only thing I have about this game is I remember when we were younger, before there was a world of like streaming different games and all that, like if a game was that fucking boring, they would turn it off.
Yeah.
And they would put
Yeah.
on a better game because there was better games than that on, and they just didn't take it away.
They just didn't.
Like
They
there was a
kept that
lot of
game.
times where I was like, okay, we're into the fourth quarter now, and it's still a blowout. Like, and it's not a good blowout.
At no point was that game in question.
Yeah, like to the NFL schedulers who were like, the people want to watch this game. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Because no, we did not. We did not want to watch that game.
Red
That's
zone.
all we should talk. That's
That
all I
was-
had to say about that.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Bills are good. Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
the Bills are good, and Pittsburgh is bad and struggling with a rookie. QB.
Surprise! So
Yeah. Next.
next game we had another blowout. We had Pats beating the Lions 29-0.
I picked the Pats to win, but I would not have picked the Pats to win by that.
no.
I would
Yeah.
have thought a 3-point game.
Yeah, me too.
So
I mean, the Lions have been putting up a lot of points.
The Lions were the best
Lions
offense in the league.
we did
No.
have another scary moment during that game where the stretchers had to be brought onto the ambulance had to be brought onto the field.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
A safety for the Lions, Savion Smith, I want to say.
Hmm.
Was his name, and it was a really weird play. Like he was like didn't seem to take a huge hit or anything. He just like collapsed on the field,
Ooh,
and
okay.
they actually brought somebody from his family out of the crowd and onto the ambulance.
Oh god.
Jesus
Okay. Drive with
Christ.
him in the ambulance.
Yeah,
that's
so
the
and it looked like
hospital.
it was probably his father because it looked older.
That's
gentleman.
scary. I didn't know.
Yeah, like so, but they did say that he had movement in all of his extremities. So thankful for that news, but
All right. Zappy didn't look terrible. He had a pick, but overall, he looked pretty in control.
Hard to judge against the Lions defense.
It's hard. Well, yeah, it is. But again, didn't look terrible. He had an interception, but not terrible. Nothing. Was it 17-21, 188 and a touchdown and an interception. So again, not like
Yeah.
anyway. I don't think I see it being a pretty Mac Jones stat line.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to think that Mac Jones would have done better.
Yeah.
and Zappy puts a couple wins together while Mac is out. If you can, you definitely you'll have a controversy there. We'll see.
I don't think Belichick's married to him.
Definitely not. Oh, of course not.
Yeah, that dude would have replaced Tom Brady if he would have had.
He replaced it Bledsoe, a guy who they were paying like Bledsoe had one of the largest QB contracts at that time, maybe the largest in the league, and replaced him with Tom Brady with a second year.
Bledsoe had also led the Patriots to a Super Bowl
At one point, yeah. Wasn't when
against Brett
Belichick
Favre
was
against the
there,
Packers. Yeah, it was previous regime, but it still happened. So
but yeah. So no, Belichick will replace your ass if somebody else is doing better.
yeah, that's all I really.
Yeah.
I didn't catch a lot of that game.
There wasn't a lot to catch.
There wasn't.
Poor Lions. You're the Lions still.
Yeah.
So really, this was about the scary incident on the field. So
Lions fans knew it was coming too because it was they always lose to backup QBs apparently. They
Yeah.
always lose, but apparently it's a thing.
All right. So let's go on to another blowout. Jets beating the Dolphins 40-17.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater getting
Got
knocked
hurt.
out of that game on the first offensive play for the Dolphins,
Yeah.
and which was a safety.
Who was their backup? I can't even remember the guy's name.
Yeah, he did not do well. He did
No.
not look good. It
No,
was
I
bad.
mean,
It was very bad. The Jets, congrats, Jets. You beat a third string QB, but
hey, the Jets whooped that ass.
yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins still have a pretty decent defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they still gave up 40. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the Jets are putting on a little something here together, right? Are the Jets
Tyler Thompson
Are the Jets
out of
3-2?
Kansas State University.
The Jets. Or is it week 5 and the Jets have a winning record?
Yeah.
That-
Both teams in New York have a winning.
that's- I know they haven't beaten the toughest of opponents, but that's not nothing.
The state of New York is rocking right now because they have 3 teams that all have a winning record
Well,
in the state
The
of New York.
Mets aren't rocking.
I'm talking
I feel-
about
I feel
Buffalo
like the
Bills.
Yes, the
So-
state, the football wise, the
Yeah.
state of
I kind of feel like the Dolphins losing their quarterback
Um,
on the first play was kind of maybe justified a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, it's
Putting
kind of
Tua out there.
because he got evaluated for concussion, but since he passed concussion tests, but because of Tua's injury, Teddy
Yeah, the shit
Bridgewater
that
wasn't allowed to
you
return.
fucking do.
So the new rules of the NFLPA were in effect right there. Call it karma, call it what you want to call it, but to prevent Teddy Bridgewater from being trotted out there and potentially facing the same fate that they put Tua in.
Oh, well, and if they would have just sat sat Tua when they should have, Tua would have been back out.
Yeah,
today.
So
Anyways,
it's
we can
that's all. I mean, that's
we move on. Oh, and I think the state of New York only has one football team, technically.
well, they only have one that plays there, but they have three that represent it.
I guess.
I know they
but anyway, let's move on. Next game. Titans beating the Commies 21-17.
both of those teams suck.
Yes.
Derrick Henry is the only bright spot in that fucking football game. I mean, I will say congratulations to Brian Robinson, who during the offseason was the victim of a carjacking where he got shot twice in the leg, and he
Back in
makes his
already?
NFL debut today in week
Yeah.
6. Awesome
What a guy.
for the Commanders. I mean, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I'm happy that he was able to make such a quick recovery and get out there.
That was cool.
Shout out to the Commanders' uniforms today too. Like those look way better than I thought than I was gonna like.
They
them.
weren't terrible.
Yeah,
They
they
weren't
weren't.
terrible. But yeah, Carson wins, and they lost the game.
Yeah.
And they could have won it, but
Is there anything else other than that to talk about?
Yeah, Titans get used to winning ugly games, but I mean, it's the Titans. They're supposed to win fucking ugly games. So I mean, I guess
that's
they're
what
doing
they do.
exactly what they're
That's
supposed to
they're
do.
supposed to do. Yeah.
That's who the Titans are at a core. They're a running they're smash mouth football team.
They don't seem as good this year as they have the past few years, but they're still better than the commies.
They
So.
they beat a team they're supposed to. So good job on them.
And Malik Willis must be pretty fucking raw if they're not putting him out there yet.
He is.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is.
I mean,
From all standings, he is. But
Yeah.
anyways,
anyways,
enough of that game.
Yeah.
we can continue talking about the AFC South.
Yeah. Texans beating the Jags 13-6.
There was
Moving
one
on.
touchdown.
Another boring game. Yeah.
One touchdown, and Trevor Lawrence threw a hideous interception in the end zone.
Yeah, I guess the
Too much
only
Patrick Mahomes.
the only story, which is not really a story, is the Jags. I guess are still the Jags. Like I thought they were supposed to be a little better, right? They had 2 wins early on, and guess they still the Jags.
Yep.
But maybe you know what? I'm gonna step back on that statement. Actually, they're still a new regime in there.
Yeah.
Still young guys. Dougie P, give them more than a year at least. I think they're that team that could maybe put on a little scarier. They kind of remind me of Philly from last year, actually, at this time, right? Philly started the year off like what 2-5.
They were bad.
Like, did not look good at first, and then they started putting it together and getting those young pieces working together with the new coach. So Jags maybe, but right now you're still the Jags until proven otherwise.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
then we also got the one that just wrapped up.
Oh yeah, we do. We do have that one.
Hey man, a hard fight. It looked like an AFC North game.
It did.
That's
It
what
did.
looked like.
It did. Ravens beating the Bengals 19-17 after a kicked field goal by Mr. Reliable.
Yeah.
That
Great
dude, you
goal.
know, once he starts trotting out on the
touchdown.
field, the other team's like, well, we can go ahead and pack this motherfucker up. I don't know why we're putting these 11 guys out there.
Right.
And the Bengals D played well all night and then just allowed them to drive so far down the field.
Oh, I mean, Lamar just kept it in his hands, really. I mean,
Yeah.
that
He
last
wasn't
drive was
he
all-
wasn't giving that ball. It was either him or he was throwing it to Mark Andrews on the sideline.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it worked every time.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Yeah, then Lamar.
plan.
Something to keep an eye on. Lamar missed 3 wide open touchdowns tonight. Like just straight missed the throw. Like overthrew it or
Yeah.
they were ugly.
He
That
still
was
won
his
the game though.
That was the Ravens' 3rd blown lead this year. And this time was the lowest. It was only 10 points.
Yeah.
They still came
defense
out
is
with the
still-
W this time, though. So
Both of these teams are those teams that, like, at any point in this year, they could get hot and go on a run.
oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
even with the Bengals starting out 2-3, at any point those Bengals could start going off, and it could be scary.
Yeah, and I mean,
This
this game feels so similar to last week's Bills Ravens game, except the Ravens are on the other side of the idiotic mistake this time because the Bengals are the ones who passed up the sure shot field goal to
Right.
not convert a 4th and goal.
Yep.
It's like, I mean,
Why are
fucking
you not
hell with
taking the
these
points?
dudes?
Why are you not
Like,
going
it's
up?
you weren't they down by 3 at that point too? Just take the fucking 3. I don't get it. Like,
Thing.
I know that's old school
But-
football. You know, you take the points that are there, but
I know, man.
And
But we see it I feel like we've talked about it every week now.
yeah, in a
Yeah.
divisional conference battle where you're talking like playoff position is going to be on the line later on down the road.
Where you know it's a low scoring game. Points are hard to come by, right? You're fighting for those points. Take them when they're there.
Yeah, I think the way you said it when we were watching that was the best. You just said play the game you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Like don't play the game that's on paper. Like
Yeah, please feel
like-
out that game. We talk
Yeah.
about that every week. The feel of the game goes with this. Come on, like recognize the situation you're in. How has your team been playing? How has this game been going? Take the points.
and that was one of the great things about that Chiefs Chargers game, week 2.
Yeah.
Both Brandon Staley and Andy Reid, I think they both did a good job then of playing the game they were in. But we haven't seen
Mhm.
enough of that this year across the league.
yeah.
We've seen a
Yeah.
lot of this idiotic 4th down and goal situations. I mean, none of them are as bad as Baltimore's last week to the Bills in my eyes because we're talking a potential
Yeah.
first ballot Hall of Fame kicker,
Mm-hmm.
and you give him a
Come on,
chip
man.
shot.
Well, that's 2 weeks in a row now that we've seen a quarterback throw an interception in the end zone when that's the one thing that would have been like this is the one thing he couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or the game come down to that fourth, like if you can just take the points here,
Off
you
by
you
2.
could probably win and not try to go for it on 4th and one when you haven't been. It's not like your offense has been really rolling
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's
every week.
my
Every week.
instant reaction to that one.
Yeah. All right. So we still have one game left of the week. It's our favorite team. Don't really need to talk too much about it. I know Bucker's out. They've confirmed he will be out again this week. So
Yeah, I think
The guy last week looked all right.
yeah.
like again, this feels like a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, be careful! This will be like an indie trap game." But I just,
No, the Chiefs. This is
I think the
division
Raiders
game,
are in
it's
for a
not-
real ass stomping tomorrow.
I
hope you're
right.
right.
I think so too.
The Chiefs gonna be fired up just to be back at home.
Hey, Sneaky, remember that discussion we had about you having
Now,
feelings?
you and your feelings, yeah. Keep them to your fucking
Keep 'em-
self.
yeah.
All right? We don't need your feelings no more.
Uh,
Okay.
Gotta be right sometime, right?
yeah,
Maybe.
eventually.
I do feel
Hey,
like yeah.
Sam, hey, speaking of being right, Sam went up in his picks this week. So congratulations.
He found his strategy and it worked out for him.
I didn't go with you on all of them,
I
but
know, I'm messing
But-
with you, dude.
the
Yeah,
ones
so-
I did go with you on did work out. I think.
I felt like the picks I made were the obviously right pick to make. So
Okay.
Current points. P's at 25.
13.
I am at 17. Sneaky is at 21. And Sam is at 13.
2 weeks.
All right, let's start with picks. We got
I'll do it
week
again.
6 picks. Commies Bears. I don't care
That one-
about this game
That,
at
that
all.
seems like that game is bad. That game is like a stay away game, dude. I don't know what
Do we have a coin that we can flip on screen? Like all right, second game. Cowboys Eagles. Just
Okay, the
kidding.
Cowboys. I'll go with
Okay.
and to help out your Eagles, P, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys to not curse them.
Appreciate you taking
It's
the Cowboys, but I feel
Sneaky.
gross.
3D chess.
Where is it?
Philly.
Shit.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles.
That's good. That's a good bet. You guys, that's good. I feel like we set this up for the Eagles to win now.
Okay, so
Taking the
Jet.
Cowboys
Let's go to the next one. Jets
against the field.
Packers.
You know this is a negative one for
Jets.
me.
He's taking the Jets.
Jets and
Not even
Packers.
thinking about it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
take the Jets and feel good about it.
I'm gonna take them without even second guessing it.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Packers.
The Packers got to have a get right game. Like the
think
Packers
it's not
can't
gonna be
lose
this
that
week.
game. Who-
Giants, Ravens. I'll take the Ravens. Maybe I can gain a game.
We may have just given Tim a game here, guys.
Cards. Oh, Battle of the Birds, boys. Cards, Seahawks.
what?
I'll go Cardinals.
Okay.
All right,
You might get a game on us.
we might
T, S, and
definitely could.
J.
I just feel like Pete should know how to stop Kyler Murray, but his defense is really bad too.
The Seahawks have been a very up and down team.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Colts, Jags.
In-
Where's this at?
This is in
This is in
Indy
Indy.
because the Colts already lost their game in Jacksonville this year.
I'm taking Colts.
What's Jonathan Taylor's status?
Dead.
Is he's dead? Yeah.
Just kidding.
I thought that was knocking.
I took Colts.
I mean, he wasn't doing a whole lot this year to begin with, but
So the Colts will probably win that one, huh?
oh, for sure.
Okay.
I
And
took
our
Colts.
last pick, Falcons, Niners. I want Niners.
Yeah. Why are we? Is anybody taking Falcons? Sorry. Who's brave enough?
I'm thinking about it. Like
I
the,
know I am too.
the Falcons have been sneaky good.
Maybe let those guys take. They're thinking about it. Let them.
I'll
Let
take
'em
them.
do the thing.
I'll take the Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Take them.
Okay.
I've got such a lead. I've got a lead right now.
I
on the
can
picks,
throw
guys.
games away.
I'm throwing a few bones to you, Sam and Tim, because Sneaky and I.
Hey,
have been-
I'm still in this. I'm only
I
at
know.
17.
I'm just trying
so
to tighten up the race here, or I'm trying to fucking put it away.
let's move on. We're done with the NFL this week. Let's go to a quick story in the NBA. Draymond Green has stepped away from the team for he has no idea how long it'll be, but because he got in a fight with who did he hit?
Jordan
Poole.
Poole.
Jordan Poole, and he knocked him out.
That was a good punch.
And
It
you know, you
was.
listen to like what a lot of NBA players say about that, and they'll point out they're like, yeah, you shouldn't ever be in a situation where a dude gets in your face like that and not have your hands up and ready, but you're never expecting a hit like that from a teammate.
No, yeah.
Like that.
I
You
must
see
push
him.
him first.
He wasn't in punch range though. Like he dove at him. He's Superman.
Yeah. He fucking came at him like.
Give me that shit.
And I mean, for somebody who talks as much shit as Draymond Green does, we've seen it on the basketball court.
Mhm.
Nothing Jordan Poole could have said should have been enough to get punched in the fucking face.
But I really want to know what he said.
Oh my God, there's
Like,
been rumors
more-
out there. I heard one
more
rumor
than anything.
that he called him Mr.
Triple single.
Triple single.
Triple single.
Yeah, that's one I heard actually.
That's pretty funny.
That's a good one though. That's great. It's good.
And it's not wrong.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I mean, Jordan. Hey, credit to Jordan Poole. Like he got cold clocked like that and then finished practice.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go,
He
man.
came back out and finished fucking practice. Like
We'll see how they. It's the Warriors. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be in the finals.
I highly just suggest our viewers though to look up the video. It's
crazy.
quite the
That's
punch.
great. Son, you're not
Anyway, all right. So that's NBA for this week. Let's talk wild card baseball.
a little baseball.
Just a little. Cards and the Mets have been eliminated. So our matchups going into the playoffs will be Astros, the number 1 ranked Astros versus the number 5 Mariners, the number 3 Guardians versus the number 2 Yanks, the number 1 Dodgers going against the number 1 Padres, and the number 6 Phillies versus the number 2 Braves.
Man, I'm so sorry, Padres, that you gotta go now play the
Dodgers, yeah.
Hey,
But
we've
if
seen
the
some crazy
Padres
shit
can-
happen though. I mean, those wild card.
How was the
wild
seeding
cards
for that
they build
decided?
up.
What's that?
How do they seed the teams?
Record, yeah.
Did you just say there was a 1 versus a 1?
A 1 versus a 5. Sorry,
Yeah, it's 1 versus 5 on
because
both
the
sides.
wild card.
Okay, my bad.
But yeah, I mean,
So-
we've seen those wild cards firsthand propel teams onto magical runs. I mean,
we have.
I would say Padres and
Padres will be a fun team, but
Mariners could all.
hey, the Mariners. Let's go there. The Mariners look like a team. They feel like a 2014 Royals team. Right?
Yeah.
They broke their very long playoff drought. They had a huge comeback win. Like they were down 7 runs, man, and came back in that game. What was that Friday night's game? Or no, Saturday's game.
Yeah.
To win it. Like that's how they won their game.
The Mariners have
Are you
been
kidding
fun to
me?
watch this year too,
Yeah, man.
which is cool because I like the Mariners. So
Yeah. Like so yeah, the Mariners, they're that young, scrappy team. They don't have like any huge names, but their guys are coming through and they're gonna be a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I hope anyways.
I've liked
I-
watching the Padres all year too.
I'm
So
here for the Phillies Braves series.
The Mets, I'm sorry if you're a Mets fan, they let you down like they always do.
Hey, and I
Yeah.
mean, congratulations to Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols, probably their last game of 2 legendary careers right there.
Yeah.
We don't know about Wainwright either. He might also
yeah,
up at the end of the season just to kind of go out the trio.
Yeah.
They all had very successful careers. If that's the last we see of all 3 of them, that'll be a new era in St. Louis baseball. Will be starting.
another thing to mention. I mean, it's
Sure.
more Kansas City fans, but we fired Dayton Moore and our coach
Mike Matheny
Mike
Mm.
Matheny
and the pitching coach as well.
Yeah.
and
The
pitching coach. Yep.
and head
So
coach.
the new owner's
Uh,
coming in and shaking
I-
things up.
Hey man, hopefully you
needed
can
it.
find somebody who really wants to come in and win. Hopefully that means that they're for real.
Yeah.
We didn't mention the how the Guardians and Rays finished up with theirs, right? The Guardians won the wild card, right? They won both games against the Rays, but the second game was 1-0 into the 15th inning is when, and the Guardians won it with a home run. Finally, the only run scored was the walk-off homer in the 15th.
Damn.
Wow.
That's
Dude, talk about a pitcher's duel.
That's a good battle.
14 scoreless innings from each side. Like
Bravo to both teams.
you had a game and a half of scoreless baseball.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So yeah, and then the Guardians at home, walk it off. So that's very cool for them. First year is the Guardians too, and like, hey man, right, gonna be much better than the Commanders. First year's the
Yep.
Commanders.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode, boys.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and then hit that
That's all you
same.
gotta do, all right.
You gotta hit it. You know?